The New York Times exposed Dominion vulnerabilities in 2018.
Mr. Reagan.
All right, so I posted a video for you guys about CNN exposing Dominion voting machines, right? Exposing that they were vulnerable to hacking back in 2017. Well, the New York Times did exactly the same thing in 2018. Here's the video on that.
All cybersecurity experts who have given electronic voting machines any thought agree. These machines have got to go. To show you why, I'm running a mock election using the same dangerous and obsolete machines still in use today. Our election will find out whether Michigan students prefer their own university or our arch rival, Ohio State. After the chaos of the 2000 election, we were promised a modern and dependable way to vote. I'm here to tell you that the electronic voting machines Americans got to solve the problem of voting integrity, they turned out to be an awful idea.
One vote for McCain.
That's because people like me can hack them all too easily. I'm a computer scientist who has hacked a lot of electronic voting machines. I even turned one machine into a video game console. Imagine what the Russians and North Koreans can do. I've even gone to Congress to raise the alarm. Our highly computerized election infrastructure is vulnerable to sabotage and even to cyber attacks that could change votes. This is the same electronic voting machine used in Georgia and parts of Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, and even in swing states like Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania. Millions of Americans voted on paperless electronic voting machines in the 2016 election.
Who are you going to vote for?
100% Michigan.
100% Michigan.
Obviously Michigan.
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 But here's a little secret between you and me. I've already hacked these worthless machines. Step 1. Buy a voting machine on eBay. Or, if you're the North Koreans, hack the manufacturer and steal their software code. Step 2. Write a virus. Step 3. Email your virus to every election official responsible for programming the voting machines with new ballots. Many of these officials are easy to find online. Step 4. Sip coffee and wait. Step 5. Hijack the ballot programming and let the election officials copy your invisible malicious code onto the voting machines. Step 6. Watch your code silently steal votes. All right, here are the results from the electronic voting machines. Ohio State wins 131 to 108. There's a good reason we computer scientists are paranoid. It's a golden age for hackers.
The computer virus that destroyed Iranian nuclear equipment.
This is one of the largest data breaches in history.
More than 1 billion of its accounts were hacked.
What chance do the people running your local elections really have against Russia or North Korea? Okay, everyone, I hacked the voting machines. I do have the real results because we also counted on paper. Michigan wins! Michigan won in a landslide. And I can say this confidently because I have the real results from the safest and simplest solution, paper ballots.
Yes. We need to take a hard look at the equipment that actually records and reports votes.
Even though the Senate Intelligence Committee is finally showing some understanding of the problem, it's not enough. All states in this country, the people ultimately responsible for how we vote, must act too. In a real election, an official could quickly scan these paper ballots and shortly after have a human verify the results. Paper plus audits. All elections should be run this way. But if you don't want to believe me, or every single expert in cybersecurity who's thought this through, then take it from this guy.
It's old-fashioned, but it's always good to have a paper backup system of voting. It's called paper.
All right, now this video that I'm making here, this is probably going to be demonetized. All the money for this video is probably going to go to the New York Times, whatever. That's all irrelevant to me. you, the voting public, you need this information because nobody is making videos like this right now, right? We have to go back to a time when the left-wing media, mainstream media, whatever you want to call them, when they thought that this kind of information would hurt Donald Trump. And we've got to explore what they were looking at back then. Because even though most of the stuff that they were doing was motivated by, trying to get Donald Trump out of office, some of the reporting they did was legitimate. I don't think that what they did here, what they were looking at here, was illegitimate. They were taking the word of experts, and they were, obviously they chose this story because they thought it would hurt Donald Trump. They would never choose this story today. If anybody raised their hand at a New York Times meeting and they said, hey guys, I got a great story. Let's look at the Dominion voting machines and see how vulnerable they are to manipulation. Every editor at the New York Times would go, what the hell are you talking about? we can't do that. That's already crazy. We can't do that story. But in 2018, that was potentially going to benefit the left, benefit Democrats, and would potentially hurt Donald Trump. So they looked into it then, right? And that's how a lot of this reporting stuff works, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys are perfectly aware of that. It's not so much that they lie to you in every story, although in some they do. But in many instances, all they're doing is choosing stories that they know will benefit their side and ignoring stories that they know will hurt their side or will benefit what they consider the opposition. Although newspapers and these news agencies like CNN and MSNBC, they really shouldn't be so strictly partisan. I don't mind them having some partisan people, but news should be, should have some principles, should be neutral, shouldn't have a side. They should just be reporting the facts. But as we all know, they don't do that. And but it's fun sometimes to go back and to find some things that these news agencies have produced that actually help our side. They sort of are inadvertently helping us now to kind of look at what's really going on today. And again, this video was about the vulnerability with regard to hacking. But just like the CNN news story, it's more concerning because those with authorized access to these machines, if they have any kind of sinister intent, then they can even more easily manipulate the vote. And who are we talking about when we say people with sinister intent and access to these machines? We are, of course, talking about Democrats. All right, I will see you guys next time.
Mr. President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past. Blame the Congress. Does any of the blame belong to you?
Yes, because for many years I was a Democrat.
But does any of
someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.